Now we move to business. The three newly listed equities in the NGX have contributed about 179 billion naira to the exchange's market cap in 2023. The equities listed on the NGX in 2023 are Chapel Hill Denham's Nigerian Infrastructure Debt Fund, Mercure Industries PLC, and VFD Group PLC. Year to date, NGX has achieved returns of about 41%, the exchange's best performance since 2020. With an all-share index above the 72,000 mark and a capital cap above 39 trillion naira, the NGX has hit new highs in 2023. Joining me on the news to discuss this is the Managing Director, Trustbanc Asset Management Limited, Azeez Lawal. Azeez, good morning and thank you for joining me on the news.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, so can you tell us which stocks actually contributed to the performance last week?
Yeah, good morning. Once again, thank you for having me.
Good morning.
Yeah, so for last week, we saw renewed interest in banking tickers. So banking stocks largely drove the positive performance that we saw last week. Outside banking tickers, we also saw good, impressive performances from MRS. We saw renewed interest specifically in some oil and gas companies, even though some of them also lost. So to answer your question specifically, banking tickers largely drove the market last week. Access Bank, UBA, Zenith Bank. Thank you.
All right, Azeez. Now, going into the final 2 weeks, what sectors of the market will you advise our audience to pay specific attention to?
Yeah, for the rest of the year, we are likely to see that investors will continue to intensify their buying interest in banking tickers because from what we saw in the half-year performances and the dividends declared, we expect that investors will continue to bank on that, right, and position for such dividends going into next year. So, at current prices, stocks like UBA still look decent. Access Bank also looks decent. There are a number of other banking tickers like that the investors should be looking into, including Fidelity Bank. So we expect that banking tickers will continue to sustain the positive performances that we've seen in the market in the last 9 weeks. Thank you.
All right. You said investors should continue to bank on the positive performance and also position for, dividends. Now, if I do say so, the impact of the new listings has actually been positive in 2023. Now, do you think we should expect a reversal, especially when some firms delist in 2024?
Yeah, so as far as listing and delisting is concerned, typically we are looking at the activities of the companies that delist or that are listed or delist, right? In context, let's pick Union Bank that was delisted a couple of months back, right? It's a significant market driver, and the entire capitalization of Union Bank is less than 200 billion, right? For a market that is currently over 36 trillion, right? So these are not significant. So even though they have been delisted from the exchange, the market is doing well over 40% because they were not significantly driving the market before they were delisted. So we expect that, regardless of the companies that are delisted, we expect that this positive performance will still be will be sustained, right? So except if you start hearing major companies like Dangote Cement, for example, delisting from the exchange. These are major companies that if they delist, it will significantly impact the size of the market. But outside that, for some of those companies that we have seen delist in the past few months, right, we do not expect that it will significantly impact the market in the coming year as well. Thank you.
Quite interesting. We really hope that the positive performance continues even through 2024. But just before we go, what's your expectations of the fixed income market for the rest of the year? Should we expect more auctions of FGN securities?
Yeah, for fixed income market, right? We've seen majority of the auctions. Last week, for example, there were 2 auctions, right? We don't know. Based on the DMO's timetable, there will not be any other auction for FGM bonds, but there's still one auction left to go for treasury bills, right? But already we have seen the signal from the last couple of auctions that the DMO is now looking at lower rates. So there's enough guidance in terms of rates as far as the market is concerned for fixed income, right? So in that regard, we expect that the level of activities for the rest of the year will be driven by level of liquidity. Particularly for this week, we expect the buying interest that was seen in the market recently to persist. However, there will also be selling pressure because currently there's system liquidity deficit. So for this week, we expect a mixed performance. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you so much, Azeez Lawal, for joining me on the news to talk about this. And thank you so much for your time.